Well, hey, it's Rob, and I just wanted to react to the passing of Ozzy Osbourne. I'm at work and just found out, and we all knew he wasn't, in the best of health. And what an amazing, swan song he had 2 weeks ago. Playing on stage with all the original members of Black Sabbath. All four of them were up there finally. They had buried the hatchet, and he was sitting in a throne, but hey, he is the king, so or the Prince of Darkness, whatever you want to call him. Anyway, so very sad. Of course, Parkinson's is a very difficult disease to have to deal with, and it's not like he was a health nut or took care of himself throughout his life. He, of course, abused every known substance that he could get his hands on. So he led a good life, and had some amazing, creative success with Black Sabbath. And then, of course, even though he was down and out when he got kicked out of Black Sabbath, he, probably sunk to the lowest he had ever been and could have just stayed there or checked out then. But somehow he turned it around and became Ozzy the solo artist and had amazing success doing that too. So for me, Black Sabbath, I got into music and I just was hooked. But once I started playing guitar, Black Sabbath, that was like the way in for me because of the way Tony played. Of course, Tony has the hand injury where he's missing parts of his fingers. So he plays these very simple 3-note chords. They're very easy to learn when you're learning guitar. And so I learned every Black Sabbath song out there. I had a friend, he played bass, I played guitar, and we would just go through the Black Sabbath songbook. So that is definitely the history of my involvement with music from the standpoint of being a guitar player. But Ozzy's voice, there's nothing that you can compare it to. And even though he came up with the brilliant, stupid idea of singing the riff as the melody, so the song already had a riff like Iron Man or whatever, and that just was the melody of the song. He just sang whatever the guitar player was playing. But his voice had like a resonance. It really cut through. Technically, of course, was he a good singer? Well, whatever. It's the Prince of Darkness. But I'll retell this story to wrap it up, and I've told this before on my channel. But when I worked at a recording studio in Los Angeles, where they were recording Michael Jackson's Dangerous record, we had a receptionist who had somehow connected with Ozzy and used to go to his hotel, when he was in town. I don't know the extent of the hooking up that they did, but she spent some time with him. And at one point, he said, "Hey, I'm going to play you this new song I'm working on. It's called Mama, I'm Coming Home." And, she listened to it, and boy, Ozzy, that's a great song. He said, I'm in therapy because I can't understand why people love me so much. He said, I feel like a loser, I was a hippie in the 60s. I ran around with no shoes, grew up with no money, and now look what I am, and I can't reconcile that. So I'm in therapy to try to understand what people like about me so much. And, so she, had just heard this song, and she said, "Well, Ozzy," she goes, "people are going to love this song, Mama, I'm Coming Home," because it was a Desert Storm at the time. The war was ending. Soldiers were coming home. She's like, they're going to adopt this song as their anthem as, they return home to the United States. And Ozzy looked at her and said, "Oh, no, I'm going to need a lot more therapy." Well, hey, whatever Ozzy needed, he, got as far as he did. And, he will definitely be missed. All right. That's what I got for you today. Later.